qualify, and there he goes out on the world's fastest half mile. Marty Reed alongside Dale Jarrett and Andy Petrie, and we are underway, fellas.
This has to be one of the most fun qualifying runs you'll make all year long.
Yeah, it doesn't take long. 2 laps in less than 16 seconds each, these guys, but it is quite exciting for that amount of time.
Of course, Denny coming off a nice race last week at Michigan where he got his 10th top 5 finish of 2010.
Oh, Denny gets close to the wall off turn 2.
You can see over in turns 1 and 2 how much shade, a lot of sun down here in 3 and 4.
Comes across for the first lap at 15.73 seconds.
That's a good lap. That's the fastest lap that's been run today. Like you say, that sun, that shade over there's got to make it difficult to judge that distance on the wall coming off turn 2.
About a third of the racetrack is in shade. But as you've pointed out many times, DJ, not as heat-sensitive concrete compared to the asphalt.
Yeah, not quite as much, but I tell you, it's been really hot here today. We have a very slick racetrack, a little harder tire than what these guys had here in the past, so that's created some issues with these guys trying to get their cars to handling. We actually see where you normally are right on the bottom of the racetrack qualifying here. I think we're going to see some guys try that second groove up there to see if they can keep momentum turning a fast lap.
Well, you saw Denny's first lap was his quickest, as now out on track is Tony Raines with the A&W paint scheme. Nice colors. And
he was 37th quickest in practice.
He's going to start 38th tonight in the Nationwide Series race, which is coming up right after we get finished here. We'll have countdown followed by the race.
You can see the racetrack and how rubbered the groove is all the way up. I mean, you see it within a lane of the top of the wall there. So these cars have run a lot of laps and moved that groove up during practice.
He's just going to take the one lap. We've seen that. We saw some of it as we were watching Nationwide Series qualifying earlier. Some of those guys, their first lap was their quickest. A lot elected not to even hardly run the second lap.
Yeah, a lot of times on short tracks, you see that second lap being the fastest, but most of the time, I mean, most of the cars that ran in that Nationwide qualifying session, the first lap was the fastest.
Yeah, and you talk about having a harder tire. That means most of the time you're good. You're going to get the best of the tire in that first time. As it gets some heat into it and any kind of wear just a little bit, then it's going to fall off quickly.
Well, 16.03, not going to be one of the top qualifying times, but right now coming out on the track is Regan Smith. His best start here back in 08 when he started 4th, finished 14th in that very same race.
You're going to see, I mean, these times are going to be extremely close. 100th of a second and even a 1,000th of a second can make a difference in positions here.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that blip you see is a bit of a glitch on the GPS reading, and there it's more even.
Yeah, first lap is about 9/100ths off of what Denny Hamlin put down. 82. See if he can pick it up.
The Farm American colors, as you can see, Regan right now at 15.82 out of the 3 cars. That is second quick. There's Denny Hamlin. Stay with us.
Thank you. Come again.
Okay, I got this.
Now, kids eat free at IHOP from 4 to 10 p.m. every day in August. The value we've always been known for is now even better. IHOP. Come hungry, leave happy.
There's something in the water!
This summer.
They're coming!
Don't miss the movie critics are calling fun, sexy,
You haven't seen anything yet.
and scary. Piranha in 3D. Rated R.
Show your spirit with Skinit.com. We've got your school, your team, your style. Pick your favorite skin or create your own. Or choose from sports, entertainment, fashion, and more. Go to Skinit.com today.
Attention computer shoppers with past credit problems. If you've had past credit problems and want to make a change, call now. All you need is an active checking account and you're approved for our program. Bankruptcy, liens, divorce, or job loss, it doesn't matter. You're approved. We'll get you that new computer you always wanted and report on your credit so you can start to get it back on track. Call now and with your paid order, we'll add a free color printer, free MP3 music player, and a free LCD TV. You heard right. Free printer, free MP3 player, and a free LCD TV. Call now and tell us where you want your brand new computer and free gift shipped today.
Back here at Bristol Motor Speedway for Sprint Cup qualifying, and Kevin Conway in a last-minute move is in the number 7 car owned by Robbie Gordon, and He was replaced last week in the 34 by Tony Raines. So Conway back behind the wheel.
He was only 48th quickest in the only practice we had today. And a 16:50.
Well, he made his only Sprint Cup start here at Bristol back in March. Started 42nd, finished 28th in that one. You can see he's the slowest right now of the 4 cars.
He did pick up about a half a second from practice, though, so there's some hope there.
Comes across the line for lap number 2, and as we have seen everywhere along the line, the second lap falls off a bit. Let's talk to Denny Hamlin. How about it, Doc?
Thank you, Marty. Denny, that first lap, 15:73, by far the quickest lap we've seen a Cup car turn today. But I heard you say on the radio the second lap would have been quicker.
Yeah, we just we've been fighting this car all day pretty much to try to get the speed and try to get the handling feel that I want out of it. But it's an improvement for us. You know, it's about 3/10 better than what we've run most of the day. So I'm not sure it'll be top 15.
Whoa, Jeff Gordon's having troubles, guys.
He spun it around and never took the green flag, so he can back her up.
He only made slight contact with the rear bumper on the wall right at the very end of that spin. Probably the biggest problem is with the tires.
I don't know if we're allowed to change tires or not. Why don't you stop right there? We'll find out. Just stop right there.
Yeah, he wants him to stop before he crosses the start-finish line, and that would technically start his lap because that extends across pit road. So they'll go over and take a look at the tires and see if there's any damage to them or if they can keep going here.
Well, yeah, he was having to be on the brakes pretty hard to keep this car out of the wall, so I'd have to say they're flat spotted. He wouldn't want to try to make a run.
Yeah, we'll get a good look at it right here. See, it looked like it just actually hopped that rear wheel getting in the corner, got him loose in the corner. Now the tire, yeah, Dale, I would say guaranteed they're flat spotted.
See,
could have
right
kept from
there.
spinning or rolling, it would have been okay, but I think he would have crashed the car if he'd tried to do that.
Here it is in real time.
And you can see Jeff was going to try to utilize that. He was up in literally that second lane of this racetrack, try to get a nice run coming to the green, because as most of these guys know, that first lap's going to be the money lap, and so he really wanted to make sure he had plenty of speed coming to get it.
All right, let's check in the Craftsman Tech Garage with Tim Brewer.
Hey, guys, this is what happened. When a driver loses control, gets sideways, has to get on the brakes extremely hard, what happens? It peels all this rubber off down to the cords. Now, if you try to continue, what's going to happen? This flat-spotted area right here is going to vibrate so bad, you're not going to have control of the race car. Guys?
Thank you, Tim. And
that's likely what those tires look like on Jeff Gordon's car, too.
So the crew is waiting for the determination from NASCAR on what they can or cannot do. And there is Steve Letarte talking to the NASCAR official right there.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be allowed to change tires. I've never known that to be able to happen. But
I think they're going to be allowed to change tires. They're just not going to be able to qualify after they do.
Well, meanwhile, Juan Pablo Montoya rolls out to take his qualifying attempt. He was 8th in the final practice.
You can see how much of this racetrack he's utilizing that. He really carried a lot of speed through the center of the corner, and a nice run off. It's going to be the quickest so far.
Yeah, nice lap, 15:69.
And we'll update you on Jeff Gordon. He is on the 5-minute clock, and we are still waiting for an official ruling from NASCAR regarding whether or not they can change those tires.
Slows up just a little bit that second lap. I'm like you, Dale. I think it's going to be that first lap, unless you mess it up, is going to be the fastest lap.
Well, his best start was back in 07 when he started second. His best finish was 9th. Right now, Juan Pablo Montoya is on point, 15.69 seconds. And I think we got our answer as far as what they can do as tires. Well, maybe we don't. We're changing them, but we don't know for sure whether or not he is.
Well, if I'm Steve Letarte, I'll go ahead and make the decision. Go ahead and change them because we're not going to qualify with the tires that are on there. And we'll put tires on. If they let us qualify, fine. If they don't, we'll roll with the truck.
While that's going on, Martin Truex is taking his car out onto the track. His first lap at 15.70 seconds puts him second, right behind Montoya.
Well, that's a nice pickup, about 2.5 tenths, and really good for Martin because he's never started in the top 10 or finished in the top 10 here at Bristol.
Qualified 19th back in March, finished 12th in that race, and here he is again dropping off as we have seen with everybody so far in that second lap. So 15.70 will keep him in that number 2 spot.
Dale, does that put any more pressure on you knowing that first lap is the lap? I mean, you really don't have that second lap to kind of lean on. You got to make it happen that first lap.
It really does, Andy. But here in years past, your tires were good for both laps. If you got the first one and hit it perfect, you probably weren't going to pick up, but you had that opportunity. Don't really have that right here today, I don't believe. You have to really mess up to make that second lap better.
Work continues back in pit road. Now Kevin Harvick out on course is coming off that big win last week at Michigan. And guys, the surprising thing was he was 29th in the final practice.
He was very good, but he runs a decent lap here, 15:82.
Puts him 4th right now.
That 82 is actually faster than Ryan Newman. He was the fastest in practice, so all these cars are picking up speed.
Yeah, he got a little high right there in the middle of 3 and 4.
Yeah, you can see the tracker. He just went straight downhill there.
Yep, he got out of it.
Yep.
So that'll keep him 4th out of the 7 cars that have taken time so far. And, of course, Kevin won this race back in 2005 after starting 13th. All right, we've gotten the definitive word from NASCAR, and Steve Letarte has that information now. Since he did not take the green, he is allowed to change the tires. And since he's on the 5-minute clock, he gets back in line. He can do it all again.
Oh, that's good news for the 24 fans. He gets to make a qualifying run, because it makes a big difference where you start here. You start deep in the field, you risk getting torn up, losing laps. I mean, it's just very, very hard to start the race at the back. Well, Mark's up the racetrack quite a bit.
Mark Martin, a 9-time pole sitter here at Bristol. So far, 4th with 15.73 seconds on that first lap.
He's only 0.04 of a second off the pole. I mean, this is going to be a really tight qualifying session.
Yeah, it looks like in that 1570 number is going to be the range where we're going to have a lot of cars here today.
He picks up just
barely. Yeah, 100th of a second.
Well, it gained him a spot.
Yeah.
Our first car to actually go quicker in the second lap. Let's talk to Juan Pablo Montoya. How about it, Doc?
Well, he climbed out of his car a moment ago, went over, and Martin Truex Jr., his teammate, came over to talk with him. We'll get in here and talk to Juan Pablo. He leaned over and told me, he said, that was a good lap, but maybe not good enough. Juan Pablo, great effort today. 15:69, your lap.
Yeah, it's okay. I think it's not going to be fast enough, but it was pretty good. You know, his target shape has been so good the last few weeks. We just want to have a very good result. I think it's very good in race trim, and it just went out too early, but we'll see.
All right, Juan Pablo, very good in the race here getting the spring, guys.
Jeff Gordon out on track right now. He's had 35 Bristol starts, 5 poles, 15 in the front row, and first lap is 5th quick right now, 15:80.
I can honestly say, I don't think I've ever seen this. I've seen guys spin out coming to get the green. Probably did it myself. Wasn't smart enough to go in the pits. Thinking because I guess I just always thought you see people drive back around the racetrack to come back and take the green to get them going, but never saw it or never had any idea that you could come in and do that. So it's worked for Jeff Gordon so far.
First time for everything.
Absolutely.
So the 5-time winner turns near disaster into an advantage of some sort and salvages as much as he can. Let's talk about what's coming up on the calendar, because up next on ESPN, the Nationwide Series race right here from Bristol Motor Speedway. And then NASCAR Now, presented by 5 Hour Energy, Saturday morning, 9 a.m. Eastern on ESPN2. NASCAR Sprint Cup Series action, of course, Saturday evening, 7:30 Eastern over on ABC. Our coverage starts at 7 p.m. Eastern with NASCAR Countdown. On track right now, the 39 and Ryan Newman, who was the fastest in our final practice, guys.
We'll see what he can do now. He's running up on the track a little bit, just like you said, Dale. I don't see. I mean, he's way up on the racetrack in 3 and 4.
And these guys just seem to be carrying a lot of momentum into the corner, letting their cars roll, but then they can really get them turning off.
Well, he runs 100th second quicker than Montoya. He's on the pole.
So far, so good. He has sat on pole twice in his career here.
Just look how high he's running. I don't know if I've ever seen anybody qualify that high here.
No, well, we haven't seen that in the past, but this is a different racetrack. You know, he's utilizing that banking. There's more banking up the middle and top part of the racetrack, so he utilizes that getting in the corner and then turns the car and drives it straighter off the corner.
And having all the practice we had with that race practice, they moved all that groove way up high, and it allows them to do that.
So you're looking at our provisional pole sitter right now as we get ready for more action. Dale Earnhardt Jr. still to come, as is Tony Stewart, who's been on a streak of late, moving up in the points, and Joey Logano.
Pizza photo shoots, they're insane. They do all kinds of weird stuff. But at Domino's, we're making a change. Why don't we just take the pizza right out of the oven and take a picture of it?
We want you to be our photographer. Order 2 mediums with 2 toppings for $5.99 each and send us your pictures.
Pizza this good stands on its own.
That's cool. 1800 just poured me a shot. What can your top do? Nothing. 1800 tequila. Change the game.
Welcome to the center of the universe. Eye of the sheet metal storm. A V8 vortex of soul-stirring thunder and blistering speed. Where pistons pound out the fury of 35,000 horses in unison with 100,000 beating hearts. A world where adrenaline is the fuel of choice. And everything else is just a game.
Hot August savings are on right now, only at Antioch Mazda. 0% APR for up to 60 months and no payments for 90 days available on all new 7-passenger 2010 CX-9s in stock. Or pay just $26,630 only at Antioch Mazda. Grab a 2010 Mazda 3i Sport for just $15,411. And 0% APR up to 60 months on approved credit and no payments for 90 days. And all new Mazdas come with the Antioch Promise, our commitment to the highest level of customer service. Make the smart choice and save thousands at the Antioch Auto Center. Serving Contra Costa for 21 years. So big, they named an exit after them. Auto Center Drive off Highway 4.
Xfinity has something great for every budget, like internet. You can download way faster than dial-up, plus get the top-rated Norton Security Suite at no extra charge. So sign up today and download your favorite music and photos in a flash. Hi.
Add Xfinity Internet right now at this great everyday low price. Call 1-800-XFINITY today.
Back here at Bristol Motor Speedway, where on track right now is Sam Hornish. In his prior runs here, a total of 5 races. His best start was his very first race back in 08. He started 7th, and his best finish was that year in 29th. The rest of them are nothing to write home about, 31st or worse.
Got to say he's encountered a few problems here at this half-mile racetrack would be an understatement, but it is a difficult racetrack. He picks it up a little bit on the second lap.
15.79 seconds. Well, let's hear from Jeff Gordon, Doc.
Well, Jeff, qualifying a bit of an adventure here for you tonight. What happened out there?
Yeah, I mean, it's always exciting here at Bristol, but that was a lot more excitement I was looking for. You know, I just took off a pit road. I could tell the track, the tires had good grip. Got down into 3, and the car just rotated way better than I thought it was going to, and I jumped in the gas too hard, and around it came, so pretty disappointed, but very fortunate that I didn't damage the car any worse and didn't cross the start-finish line. I didn't know what the rule was, you know, but they said we could put some tires on. We had some scuffs. We put them on, and we put up something anyway. It's not going to be great, but it's better than what we were looking like there for a second.
Jeff Gordon able to go out and qualify, the 4-time champion, also a 5-time Bristol winner here, Barney.
All right, thanks, Doc. And as you finish up, we're watching Reed Sorensen. His first lap is good enough for the 6th spot right now, 15.74 seconds. And he slows down just a tick on lap number 2. Now he'll start 11th tonight in the NASCAR Nationwide Series race. A guy that's been on a bit of a hot streak of his own, Greg Biffle. Dave Burns is with him.
And he will be our in-race reporter tomorrow night, as you know, Marty. So what does our reporter know about his race car after first session, which wasn't too bad, and second session, which wasn't that great?
Well, you know, the tire's a little bit different here, I guess. I'm blaming it on that. But car's just not as like as it has been the last few times we've been here. And we struggled a little bit with qualifying trim, just getting grip. So car's way different. We switched it around to be like more like the 17 car. And I'm going to run up the racetrack. You know, everybody's running up there their speed, it looks like. So I've always qualified the white line at Bristol all my life. So I'll give it a shot.
How about that, guys? An experiment in qualifying behind the wheel.
Well, Biffle is the only Roush driver of the 4 who has not won a race, either Nationwide or Cup, for Roush Fenway Racing. On the track right now, David Reagan, who won the Nationwide race here last August.
Tell Greg Biffle's paying attention because he's watching these cars qualify and changed his game plan.
Yeah, it's not as easy just to do that. I mean, you say, okay, we're going to go, I'm going to run up the racetrack more than what I normally do. You don't really know what the car's going to do, but you know that you have that banking to lean on.
Don't think David Reagan's going to be real thrilled with that lap. 15.89 puts him 11th out of the 13 cars. that have taken times so far, and he was not that strong in final practice either. They're still searching. He was 31st in that last session. Dale Earnhardt Jr. on the track now, fellas.
Well, this guy likes the high line, so he ought to be able to make this work.
Yeah, he ran about a 16 flat, so what we've been seeing is a pickup somewhere between 2 and 2.5 tenths. See if that holds true for him.
Comes across lap number 1, 9th quickest, 15.80 seconds.
You can see there were parts of that lap that he was in the green on the tracker.
Of course, Junior fans flash back to 2004 when he swept the weekend, winning both the Nationwide Series and the Cup race. And Ryan Newman looks on and says, oh, okay, I'm still on pole. And Earnhardt 9th right now. Doc?
And Ryan Newman watching, as you said a moment ago. Ryan, you ran a 15.68, good enough right now to be the best of all. Are you still fired up from last week?
No, I'm on Bristol right now. It's we got a great Wix Filter Chevrolet, and Tony Gibson, the guys have done a great job, and just excited about how we got our week started here with the modified, and it's been a lot of fun today. So just look forward to the opportunity this weekend and the next couple races, trying to make it back into the chase.
Your fans want to know, can you get in the chase?
We can, yeah. I mean, but at the same time, even if we do everything exactly right, they got to do everything just well, and we can still be out of the chase. So it's going to take some bad racing luck on their part and good racing luck on our part, and we haven't had much, so maybe it's our turn.
All right, Ryan Newman, Marty.
Well, and tell him he just dodged a bullet by, about a 100th of a second. McMurray almost did it.
McMurray was in the green just about that whole lap, and you can see right there at the end he lost just a slight amount of time, and just by a 100th of a second, less than a 100th, he's second.
And to put a period on Ryan, that reference to Wednesday, he won the modified race here at Bristol. How about a little baseball action? Because our coverage continues on ESPN Sunday and ESPN2 Monday night. First, on ESPN Sunday Night Baseball at 8 Eastern, it's Torrey Hunter and the Los Angeles Angels taking on Joe Mauer and the Twins. Then two teams in the thick of the NL races meet on ESPN2's Monday Night Baseball at 10 Eastern. Joey Votto and the Reds face Buster Posey and the Giants. Both games available on ESPN3.com. Qualifying continue now with Tony Stewart out on the track, the former winner here from back in 2001 when he was driving a Pontiac.
Look at this now. He's got almost a 10th of a second to the good in turn 3. Oh man, look at this. This is going to be a great lap.
If he can hang on to 4. And he is your new pole sitter, 15.65 by 3/100ths. It looks like he's going to run the second lap.
I guess Ryan Newman's probably saying if somebody's going to beat me, the boss would be the one guy that would be okay.
Could it be an all Stewart Haas front row? Second lap, man, not that far off. Just by 3/100ths. All right, obviously we are getting so close to where we're going to start the chase for the the Sprint Cup. And as we get ready for that next round of action, take a look at the points after 23 of the 36 races. And of course the big movers, Denny Hamlin and Tony Stewart, who just qualified this week. And of course Mark Martin and Clint Boyer, that battle for the all-important 12th spot. Dave Burns.
Clint ran 109 laps today on the track. And the way practice works here, that was 100 laps in race trim and 9 laps in qualifying for the second practice. That matters for this right here. How were the qualifying runs?
Well, we were okay, but everybody's been fast has been running a lot higher than I did. So I think the driver needs to get a 10 out of his rear, move up on the racetrack a little bit, get our Hamburgers Helper Chevrolet, up front. That's where we need to. If we can qualify somewhere in the top 10, I'll be happy.
You're willing to go up a half a groove, a whole groove?
Half a groove.
Half a groove. All right. There's your commitment, Marty.
All right. And how about a commitment from Joey Logano taking over the top spot from Tony Stewart as he runs a 15.63 second lap. He's going to start second in tonight's nationwide race. Could be a big weekend for Joey, and the teammates are talking.
Summer's here, and so is Dave & Buster's Eat and Play Combo. $15.99 gets you a $10 game card for lots of play and one of 8 outrageously tasty entrees. The $15.99 Eat and Play Combo at Dave & Buster's. Now open late night.
There's something in the water!
This summer,
They're coming!
don't miss the movie critics are calling fun, sexy,
You haven't seen anything yet.
and scary. Piranha in 3D. Rated R.
You're stuck on a treadmill. You're making minimum payments on your credit cards, and you just don't get anywhere. Let Consolidated Credit tell you the truth. When credit card companies are charging high interest, it's virtually impossible to pay off your debt. Let's say you owe $5,000 and your rate is 21%. Of your $100 minimum payment, $87 is interest. It'll take you over 33 years to pay off that debt. Call Consolidated Credit. They'll get the credit card companies to reduce or eliminate your interest. Get off the treadmill. Get on with your life. Call Consolidated Credit. They're the freedom people.
Call toll-free 1-800-440-5217.
Consolidated Credit. When credit card debt is the problem, they're the solution.
I may be in my pajamas right now, but I'm not going to bed. I'm going to college online to get a degree. Education Connection will connect you to the right online college for free. And log on now, and Education Connection will send you their free success kit stuffed with information on online schools, scholarships, even degrees that take the least amount of time. This is a $100 value, and it's yours, free.
Log on to myschoolnow.com. That's myschoolnow.com.
Back here at Bristol Motor Speedway, where action continues. You see our race coverage time tomorrow. Paul Menard out on track right now. His best start was back here in the spring. Started 12th, finished 18th in that one. He finished 16th for his best career finish here back in 08.
Well, Paul Menard just about got a pole right there.
Well, he was going until he got a little bit loose off of turn 4. You know, Marty, you brought something up earlier, and we'll watch just as Paul Menard goes into turn 3. You were talking about the shade coming over this, how much difference that may make. I didn't think he was going to make much, but I believe this is giving these guys a lot of grip as they enter turn 3, because we're seeing the speeds starting to pick up even more.
And all of turn 2, you know, from the middle of turn 1 and 2 to completely off of turn 2, down the backstretch is shaded.
So as Paul comes on in, there is the shade, and it's now over a third of the racetrack. Gives you an idea. The fastest half mile in the world.
And, you know, it doesn't make a tremendous amount of difference, but right now we're seeing times that are within 100th of a second. I mean, between these spots, so just a little bit makes a lot of difference in the lineup.
Marcus Ambrose now out on track.
Good lap going here so far.
Taking a bit of a dip coming out of 4.
Yeah, I think we're seeing there that was where Joey Logano really made good time, was on the exit of turn 4 in his fastest lap so far of the day.
Now for Marcus, his front tire changer, Dennis Terry and his wife Mickey, they had their first child today, Demi Addison, so we wish them well. And for Marcus, he is going to be 11th right now out of the 19th that have taken time. So let's talk to Tony Stewart. Doc is with him.
And we'll walk in talking to some of the crew guys here with Tony. And Tony, at one point we had an all Stewart Haas front row. Nice lap, bud.
Yeah, I was going to comment on the nationwide qualifying I was watching, and they were saying that Brendan Gaughan was imitating me or impersonating me this weekend, but there's a big difference. He had the wrong tool company. I got the best tool company with Mac Tools on my side, but I'm happy with that lap. I'm really proud of our guys, and you know, we were 12th quickest at the end of practice, so I don't know where this is going to be. I'm hoping it's going to keep us in the top 5, I hope, but we'll take whatever it gives us right now.
Big smile out of Tony Stewart when he climbed out of the cars. Guys, they could be in trouble tomorrow night.
A.J. Allmendinger not in trouble at a 15.70 second first lap. That's 7th right now.
Yeah, speaking of trouble, he had some trouble, though, in the first practice session today. He spun out twice during the session and came back here with a pretty solid lap.
Second lap, as we've seen in all but 2 of the cars, drops off. Let's check in with Dave Burns.
With Casey Kate now about to hop in. Case, on the outside of the chase looking in, is this a place where you can make things up and start it with this qualifying run?
I hope so. We've struggled a little bit with our Budweiser Ford in practice, and we need to qualify well. We need to get a good pit stall for tomorrow night and stay out of trouble. And I think you can definitely make points up here, and you can also lose a lot.
All right, I think he's got the perspective just the way you'd think, Marty.
And as you finish up, we are watching a very good run by Matt Kenseth.
Yeah, I saw him earlier today in his practice session running that high line then, testing it. He was 6th quickest earlier.
Boy, but I'm going to tell you, look how much, you know, Logano did get off turn 4 extremely well, and that's where everybody seems to be losing it.
Well, let's tell you also that Greg Biffle was supposed to be on track right now. He is on the 5-minute clock. We're tracking down why they are not quite ready. In fact, the car has just hit pit road and is rolling down towards pit out. And there you see Matt Kenseth, his second lap falls off at 15.72 is his best, slots him in the number 10 spot out of 21 cars. And there is Greg Biffle's car making its way down to the head of the line.
Yeah, you talk about Matt Kenseth. That's 9/100ths of a second, not even a 10th of a second between first and 10th. That's just how close it is, and this can't tell you how hard it is to pick up those hundredths and 200ths, and you know, a half a tenth here is huge.
Well, we're going to find out if going a little later helps Clint Boyer. Remember, he is in this all-important battle with Mark Martin for the 12th and final spot.
What did he say, a half a lane? He's going to go up. We're going to go all the way. He's up there pretty good, though.
Kind of loose right there.
He's losing the time there.
And again, as we have seen, turn 4 seems to be the nemesis for everybody.
Well,
15.79.
That's where the hottest part of the track is right now. That sun is shining on turn 4. They feel all that grip off turn 2, and they feel like they're going to have it off turn 4, and they don't.
And I think part of it may be is they're getting so much grip in turn 2 that they didn't have. They're running faster down into turn 3. They're carrying more speed there, and that gets them loose right in the center.
And you heard him twice saying too loose as we head down to Dave Burns.
And Marty, I'm going to walk with the 00 car here and see if I can get a word in with David. The good news is that David Rudiman is in this race car. He spent the entire final practice in this car after Eric Almirola spent the first practice session in it because David wasn't feeling well. Dave, how you doing?
We're doing okay, getting a little bit better. First half of the day and last night was not all that pleasant, but things are looking up now. So I think we got a good Air 3 machine. I'm feeling better, and I think we'll be good to go for tomorrow.
And the good news is 2 laps here, and then, of course, he has all day to rest up for tomorrow night's race, guys.
Yeah, food poisoning is not fun. Anybody who's ever had it. As Jeff Burton now out on track, and he is oh so close, but keep an eye on turn 4. Here we go. And he slips just a little there. That's 11th quick at 15.73.
Just how close Jeff got to the wall. Trying to make this second lap work.
Not going to happen, though.
Of course, Jeff trying to rebound from last week's Michigan run where he lost 4 spots in the points. He's dropped down to 7th. He had a 24th place finish. Right now, he's slotted 11th out of the 23 that have taken time.
Last weekend, a daring, original, imaginative, stunning, exhilarating, funny, classic movie opened in theaters around the country. You'll fall in love with this movie when you see it. Why not now? Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Rated PG-13.
Pizza photo shoots, they're insane. They do all kinds of weird stuff. But at Domino's, we're making a change. Why don't we just take the pizza right out of the oven and take a picture of it?
We want you to be our photographer. Order 2 mediums with 2 toppings for $5.99 each and send us your pictures.
Pizza this good stands on its own.
Attention drivers, has your manufacturer's warranty expired or is it about to expire? Every mile you drive, your car is getting closer to needing costly repairs. How will you pay the hundreds, even thousands of dollars needed to get your car back on the road? Quick Cash 123 is here to help you with your financial needs. If your vehicle is less than 15 years old and has less than 200,000 miles on it, then we may still be able to offer you repair protection. Call now and we will connect you with one of our preferred extended protection providers. You choose the coverage and we'll tailor a plan to fit your budget. His transmission repair cost $3,300, but the owner paid nothing, 100% covered. When her car overheated, she called the shop and had her car towed. Just show your Repair Protection ID card and pay nothing. Repair costs are paid directly to your dealer or repair shop with no out-of-pocket costs to you. Save thousands in car repairs and keep your vehicle worry-free.
Call 800-402-7117 and get a free quote from a nationally recognized A-plus rated provider. There's no obligation. Call 800-402-7117 now.
Hey fans, to find the largest selection of my gear, log on to NASCAR.com Superstore.
Back here at Bristol Motor Speedway, where we are qualifying for tomorrow night's Sprint Cup Series race on the world's fastest half mile, and in the 21-year-old Landon Castle. He raced here once in the Nationwide Series back in 08. He's had 5 Cup starts in 2010, 3 in the 09, and now 2 in the 71. Whoa, a little wiggle there.
Yeah, still that spot that everybody's having a little bit of trouble.
Well, Landon's first lap was not that great. It's the slowest of the 24, and the second one's even worse. So Landon, 16.07 seconds, 24th out of 24 cars right now. Let's check in once again with Dr. Jerry Punch.
Marty, it was a springtime here that Joey Logano picked up his first and only pole thus far. And Joey, right now you're on spot to maybe get the second pole of the year. Great qualifying effort.
Yeah, I think we're 30th quick in practice, so that's a huge pickup no matter whether we keep it or not here. But the Home Depot team did a great job. You know, they must have found some magic when I was over there at the Nationwide car or something to figure something out for me. But I was really struggling in practice, trying to find the feel that I had when I qualified here last time. And when I went back out there, I said, oh, there it is. You know, like, where did that come from? So hopefully it hangs, and we'll see what we can do with it. But either way, it's a huge pickup for us, so I'm excited about that.
Everybody else bobbing and weaving, trying to get all four. Your car stuck and didn't bobble an inch. Why?
You got me. I was surprised I hit the chip into the turn, and I was like, man, I must be going a lot faster than what I did in practice because I wasn't even close to it then. So at that point, I knew I had a decent lap going. So it'd be cool to hang on to another one. This 20 team deserves it. You know, they work real hard, and you know, for some reason here at Bristol, we've always had fast race cars. I just got to figure out how to seal the deal here and have a decent race here. So that's going to be a big goal for us when it comes tomorrow.
All right, maybe 2 poles in a row here, Marty.
And when he won that pole back in March, he became the youngest ever Cup-winning pole sitter by 1 day over teammate Kyle Busch. You saw the numbers on Greg Biffle as he is 14th right now, and on track, Travis Quapple.
Travis' best time during the practice session was a 16:15. He does pick that up by about 3/10 for 15:86. They're still back in the 22nd spot right now.
Coming through 4 again. Second lap, 15.92 seconds. So the first lap will be the one that'll stand right now. 22nd out of the 26 drivers who have taken time. We're going to step aside for just a moment, but qualifying will continue as we get ready for tomorrow night's Sprint Cup race.
What happened to tequila? These days, it's all velvet ropes and posturing. I don't know about you, but when I drink it, I really like to kick back and be myself. Oops. 1800 tequila. Change the game.
If you have diabetes and you're on Medicare, call now to get the new talking meter. These new meters are more accurate, they're easier to use, and the best news is you don't have to prick your fingers anymore. Arriva makes it simple. They bill Medicare directly. There are no upfront costs, and they deliver your supplies right to your door for free.
For more information, call 1-800-264-5300.
Inventors. InventHelp can help you try to patent your idea and submit it to companies. Call 1-800-232-4033 for free information. That's 1-800-232-4033.
Hot August savings are on right now at Antioch Dodge Chrysler and Jeep. Check out 17 acres of new and certified pre-owned vehicles, plus 0% APR available with approved credit. Grab a new 2010 Ram 1500 Quad Cab SLT and take $10,000 off MSRP only at Antioch Dodge. The Antioch Auto Center features state-of-the-art facilities, the lowest possible prices, and 4 full lots of new and pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Make the smart choice and save thousands at the Antioch Auto Center, serving Contra Costa for 21 years. So big they named an exit after them. Auto Center Drive off Highway 4.
Xfinity presents movies available same day as DVD. Date night.
I don't want the kids to live with your mother. She's awful.
Death at a funeral.
Oh, Daddy.
Tyler Perry's Why Did I Get Married Too?
A happy woman makes a happy home. I wouldn't know anything about that.
Watch movies the same day they're released on DVD. Find them here in your on-demand menu. Watch anytime with Xfinity from Comcast.
Back here at Bristol Motor Speedway, you're looking at the man who won the August 07 Nationwide Series race here, Casey Kane.
He's also on the pole for the Cup race that same weekend.
Lap number 1 is good for 8th quickest, 15.71 seconds. You know, when he was on pole in that 07 race, he ended up finishing 2nd. He's a best finish at Bristol.
Well, if you're going to run a 70, you better run a low 70, because the 71, right there you see Casey Kane, he's in 8th spot. But Martin Truex ran a 7:05, and he is up there in the 6th spot. And if you run a high 70, 17th is Clint Boyer to 79.
Well, the top 10 separated by 1/10 of a second. Dave Burns.
And at 15:63 currently the pole. Carl Edwards was second in mock qualifying practice. Can you get a 15:63 or under? Better than 15:63? Can you get the pole?
Yeah, I don't know. I think my car will do it. We'll see if I can do it. We got a great draw. Got a fast outside corner. I'm just trying to forget all about my nationwide lap. You know, try to remember back to my practice lap because this car was so good in practice. So hopefully we can do it.
The mechanics of racing the two different cars on one day are really bizarre, aren't they, guys?
Take a look at Ruderman, as boy, whatever illness he had, is right now he's third quick, 15.66 seconds.
That's a nice pickup. That's almost 3/10 of a second over what he ran during practice earlier today.
Got a very consistent second lap coming here, and not as quick as the first. He'll stay in that number 3 slot. And just to put a period on Carl, he made reference to his nationwide lap. He is going to start 10th tonight. He made it sound like he was going to be like in the bottom half of the field.
Now, what he's trying to say is he wants to remember how this car was. He just finished running that qualifying lap at Nationwide, and he needs to kind of forget how that car handled because it's going to be different than this car, and he wants to be able to try to get everything he can out of it.
So David pulls off track. And here we go with the 18 of Kyle Busch. Won the truck race, trying for the triple.
Yeah, I heard that rev limiter kick in right there. That's another one that has probably picked up since practice.
And another Gibbs car. And some of these guys will use that to get into the corner, not get in there too hard.
Oh, he lost it through 4. That's good for 16th right now.
You see that tracker right there? We're comparing this, all these laps, to Joey Logano's lap. You can see right there off of turn 4 to the line how much faster he was than everybody else.
Second lap's going to be slower. So Kyle probably not going to be too thrilled with this. 16th out of the 29 cars that have taken times at a 15:74. That's 11 hundredths slower than his teammate who's on pole, Joey Logano. Let's talk about what's going to be coming up on the calendar, because obviously we've got the Nationwide Series race coming here at Bristol next on ESPN. NASCAR Now is presented by 5 Hour Energy, and you'll see that Saturday morning, 9 a.m. Eastern over on ESPN2. And then tomorrow at 7:30 Eastern on ABC with countdown coverage beginning at 7, we've got Sprint Cup Series action from the world's fastest half mile. Kurt Busch, boy, he'd like to forget last week. Dropped all the way down to 10th in the points. And right now, his first lap is only good enough for 17th.
He's got to feel good about coming here, though. He's got 5 wins here. And hasn't won since 06, but this is still a track I'm sure he loves coming to.
Yeah, had a great race in the spring. Just got beat by Jimmy Johnson.
Started second in that race, finished third. And Kurt's going to pull off at that 17th spot right now, 15.75 seconds, his best run. And you mentioned those 5 wins. He shares that with, as far as active drivers, with Jeff Gordon. He also has 5. And as we get ready now to shift back out onto the track, we'll see Elliott Sadler, who is going to start on pole tonight for the NASCAR Nationwide Series event in Kevin Harvick's machine. And here he is now. A former race winner here, won this event back in 01.
Yeah, he's had a second place finish here as well in 05, so he really does excel here.
Yeah, he was running well in the truck the other night, trying to take the lead, and got into a little altercation there, but had a great run last week, a top 10 finish, and actually both the Nationwide and the Cup Series race.
Well, he's not going to be thrilled with the first lap. It's the slowest of the 31 that have taken times.
Now you can see this car is pretty evil right now.
And the second lap does move him up just 1 spot, so it's going to be a long row to hoe.
He's one that's going to want to remember his Nationwide lap. Forget this one.
Dave, let's talk to Kevin LePage.
Yeah, a little history, Marty, bringing the Morgan McClure colors back to the track in the number 4 car. Kevin, looks like after practice today, you got to get quite a lap out of this thing. You got it in you?
Well, Larry, Carter, and all the guys from Morgan McClure did a heck of a job getting this thing ready in just 2 weeks. We all sat down after practice, and I think we got it in it.
All right, guys, remember it was here for a long time. We don't see him all that much anymore in the 4 car. Kevin trying to put him in the show today.
And he's still to come right now out on the track, the 82 of Scott Speed. And boy, he is hustling.
He was solid, but you see him bobble right there in the middle. Turn 3, though. That's going to hurt his speed.
He was 13th quickest in the final practice, and you're right, that bobble hurt. He's 20th right now, 15.79.
You can see entering turn 3, he was in the green faster than the pole sitter and fell all the way to 20th just by that wiggle off turn 4.
That's all it takes. Second lap is going to be slower, so he'll stay in that 20th spot out of the 32 that have taken times. Looked like for a second, I'm sure it was just the angle that we had with our camera, but it looked like it was going to come awfully close to those barriers.
It's kind of hard to get these cars stopped. I mean, they make that lap, and they only have that turn 1 and 2 to get stopped and turned in down there. And it's hard to shift gear. I'm sure it's hard for your mind to shift gears from qualifying to parking.
Yeah. Well, here's Carl, as he is a 2-time winner here back in 07 and again in 08.
See a lot of smoke out of the back of that car. It must be bottoming the splitter.
So far, it hasn't hurt him. He's
not a bit.
Ahead of pace.
Yeah, just don't overdrive it into that corner and get a run off. It'll be close.
Going to be close. Here
yes,
we go.
He does it.
Carl Edwards by 3/100ths of a second.
You heard him say P1, P1. That means don't wreck it on the second lap. That's how you interpret that.
He sat on the pole here back in that 08 race when he went on to win. In fact, 22 of the...
Smoking a little bit. You might want to look at that. Good job, guys.
Actually, I think that smoke might have been coming from the left rear tire. It looked like it was rubbing the quarter panel. I'm trying to get a look at that. Things happen so fast here, you can't hardly focus on it. Yeah, it looks like that left rear tire is rubbing the quarter panel just a little bit, and that's where we saw that smoke coming from.
Well, we mentioned he won his race from the pole. 22 of the 99 prior Bristol races have been won by the pole sitter. So it's about 22% since this will be the 100th race.
Got so much load here, lateral load and vertical load because of the banking, and qualifying is probably the most load you ever put on that car, and that's why it deflects those tires so much that it rubbed the fender.
Brad Keselowski on the clock right now. He's going to start 13th tonight in the Nationwide Series race, and this is not going to be a pole run. 14th right now, 15.72 seconds.
Yeah, he just puts his name in there in the 70 line. Man, that's a long list of cars in 70.
He leads the nationwide points by 347. Carl's all but thrown up the white flag. He knows it's going to take a lot of mistakes.
From 8th to 24th is in the 70s. Dave?
Yeah.
Hey, Andy, recently Germain Racing announced that Max Pappas would move to full-time in the Truck Series for next year, and that Casey Mears would take over on the Cup side. But we expected to see you at Atlanta, not here, so why the move up?
It's just the way things shook out. You know, obviously everybody, talking to Max and trying to figure out exactly what they were going to do. Things shook out to where I could come here and do this program this weekend, and I'm excited about it. It's going to be a good deal. We're finishing off the rest of the year, running next year as well, so real happy to be a part of Germain Racing. And have Geico on the side of the car. It's cool to have a big sponsor like that involved with our program.
You're right for Casey. We'll see what he brings to this program.
Well, right now we got Jimmy Johnson on track.
And he's going it the old-fashioned way, right around the bottom.
And he is in the green. And
here
we go.
Lap, boys.
You got a new pole sitter.
54.
Woo! That is stout.
Now, he started on the pole here before, but it was points. I don't think he's ever qualified on the pole here.
And, of course, he won back here in the March race. But remember,
nice job. Turn in off of turn 2. Turn in off of turn 2.
Top
that was
10 starts in his last 9 races.
P1,
but he's only had 1 top 10 finish in the last 6. Stay with us. We're coming back.
Pizza photo shoots, they're insane. They do all kinds of weird stuff. But at Domino's, we're making a change. Why don't we just take the pizza right out of the oven and take a picture of it?
We want you to be our photographer. Order 2 mediums with 2 toppings for $5.99 each and send us your pictures.
Pizza this good stands on its own.
We're doctors, and we took an oath to first do no harm.
Let's talk.
Now, if you have the time.
I do. I just want to drop off my bag.
Where did he touch you? Did he touch you here?
Couple times.
Did he touch you there? This is my boyfriend.
This man could die, and he's the only hope for peace in the Middle East.
Stabbing me! Oh, that hurts.
Next time you're found with your chin on the ground, there's a lot to be learned. So look around.
He's got high hopes. He's got high hopes. He's got high apple pie in the sky.
Today, we're all undefeated. It's back to football.
Pizza photo shoots, they're insane. They do all kinds of weird stuff. But at Domino's, we're making a change. Why don't we just take the pizza right out of the oven and take a picture of it?
We want you to be our photographer. Order 2 mediums with 2 toppings for $5.99 each and send us your pictures.
Pizza this good stands on its own.
Where do I get my daily NASCAR fix? Log on to NASCAR.com. NASCAR.com.
They have everything.
They have highlights,
Interviews,
preview shows,
me shows. You say me shows?
my show, Kyle's Corner.
Tons of videos. I like the articles myself.
Articles?
Yeah, the articles, track smack, splash and go.
Hey, look, whatever you need, I promise you, NASCAR.com has it.
NASCAR.com.
NASCAR.com.
NASCAR.com. Check it out.
Back here at Bristol, where Michael McDowell has just completed his qualifying effort, and he's the first of the go-or-go-homers. He put up a best time of 15.86 seconds. And we have got 50 cars here for 43 spots. So this is going to get interesting amongst this group. Scott Riggs must qualify on time. That's compared to pole sitter Jimmy Johnson right now, because we have yet to fill the field. First lap, 15.89. That's behind McDowell's time.
Yeah, just 1/100th of a second behind it. Needs to pick it up just a little bit.
It looks like he is, if he can hold on to it, and he does. 15.86 seconds by 5/1000ths quicker than McDowell. Well, let's talk to Carl Edwards, Dr. Jerry Bunch.
And Carl said he wanted to forget the mechanics of the nationwide lap and have a good cup lap. And, buddy, you did it 60 flat.
Yeah, it was good. You know, you're a fit guy. You could have got over here a little earlier. Probably would have been a better interview. My pole only lasts about 15.5 seconds. Jimmy knocked us off there, but just proud of my guys. You know, that was a good lap. I think it'll be maybe top 5. And the thing that was amazing is I felt like the line I ran around the top is the line that was going to get the pole. I watched Jimmy, and he was on the bottom. I thought there's no way he's going to be slow, and somehow he made it work. So those guys did a good job, but it was fun for a minute while it lasted.
Guys, the Roush resurgence continues. Carl Edwards going to be awfully good tomorrow night.
Hey, Doc, strap that extra 15, 20 pounds of equipment that's on your back and let Carl run up and down pit road for 3-4 hours.
Yeah, it's not as easy as it looks.
He might be a little more lenient on you. J.J. Yaley did not have a good run. He is the slowest of the 38 cars, and he is the slowest, obviously, also of the 3 go-or-go-homers that have taken times. Bobby Labonte now coming out in the 09.
A lot of smoke coming out of this car.
I'm going to say it worked good for Carl Edwards when his was smoking. I don't know if it's got anything to do with that, but
35 career starts. That's 18 in the March race, 17 in the fall. And he's on the clock.
I think Bobby, he's trying to take that shorter way around too. He's not totally committed to the bottom, not quite up in that second groove either.
Whoa, got a little tail happy coming out of the corner. Right now, though, it is good enough. He is the fastest of the 4 go-or-go homers, a lap of 15.84.
Well, he would be locked into the field either way because of being a former champion, but he does want to get a good starting spot.
Second lap falls off, but right now, he is in very good shape. How about if we talk to Jimmy Johnson, Doc?
So much for what's wrong with the 48 car, huh, Jimmy? Great effort, and on the bottom of the racetrack.
Yeah, I mean, we've been able to qualify well lately. We just, on the bigger tracks, have had a little trouble in the long run, and we recognize that. I know a lot of people have been talking about it, but there's a lot of time between now and when that chase starts before that first mile-and-a-half race comes along, and I think we have some good changes in store for our cars for those tracks. But today, this Lowe's and Ball has been awesome all day, and once Chad and I can figure out where we need to work on a given racetrack, we seem to do pretty well with it. And the last 2 years, we've really been building what to work off of. And I've been looking for the right things. Chad's been adjusting on the car, and the only question was top or bottom. And we worked so long on the bottom of the racetrack setting the car up for that, I couldn't see just changing at that point. So luckily it worked. The car was really, really loose, and I'm glad it stuck. I ran a second lap because I wasn't sure that first lap was going to be all that fast. I was turning right the majority of the corner and really couldn't commit to the throttle, but I guess that old saying, loose is fast, and I hope it holds up.
What Harry Hogg always said in the movie, you lose is fast and on the edge, you're out of control. Hard to believe, folks, this would be Jimmy Johnson's first ever pole here at Bristol.
Doc, as you finish up, Kevin LePage is the second slowest of the go or go homers. A 16.08 second lap was his best.
Yeah, he really struggled where a lot of the drivers have that have slowed down in turn 3 and 4 right in the middle of the corner. His car got extremely loose.
So he's very vulnerable because remember we mentioned there are 50 cars on site for 43 spots. Joe Nemechek on track right now. He is looking to make his 30th Bristol start. Right now the line's heading in the wrong direction as he comes across the line. It is good for the 4th fastest of those in the go or go home group.
Hear that rev limiter right there. That's a good sign.
He's had 22 starts in 2010. His best was 7th back at New Hampshire. And you can see right now where he stacks up in the entire field. And as we mentioned, he is 4th fastest of the go or go home group.
I think it's nearly supper time. I'm gonna pour myself some wine and sit down to a big plate of pasta tonight.
Introducing Carrabba's signature pasta meals, starting at just $10. Prepared by hand, topped with our signature sauces, created from scratch every day. A complete Italian meal starts at just $10.
I want pasta tonight.
Only at Carrabba's.
My truck isn't something you want to see in your rearview mirror.
My truck is a 3,400-pound precision-guided sledgehammer.
I guess you could say my truck likes to take the path less traveled.
My truck never gets claustrophobic in tight spaces.
My truck doesn't haul tools, but hardware, that's a different story.
The NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. Tough trucks, tough racing.
Do you have the creativity and the marketing smarts to develop highly profitable ad campaigns? And would you just love to sell those ideas to a local business? Can you be direct and convincing when you know it's right for the client? Do you always live up to your commitments, even if it requires going the extra mile? Comcast Spotlight has a key sales opening right now. We're looking for bright, resourceful, highly motivated, and committed team players. Apply today or contact us for more information. An equal opportunity employer.
Hot August savings are on right now at Antioch Dodge, Chrysler, and Jeep. Check out 17 acres of new and certified pre-owned vehicles, plus 0% APR available with approved credit. Grab a new 2010 Ram 1500 Quad Cab SLT and take $10,000 off MSRP only at Antioch Dodge. The Antioch Auto Center features state-of-the-art facilities, the lowest possible prices, and 4 full lots of new and pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Make the smart choice and save thousands at the Antioch Auto Center, serving Contra Costa for 21 years. So big they named an exit after them. Auto Center Drive off Highway 4.
Back here at Bristol during the commercial break, Jeff Green ran the second quickest of the go or go home group at a 15:85, and Casey Mears has just finished his run. He's 5th quickest, a little bit vulnerable, 15.90 seconds. And on course now is Robbie Gordon in the 017 machine. Kevin Conway's in the primary car of the 7.
Robbie Gordon started on the outside pole in 02 when he was driving for Richard Childress.
Sneaks just in front of Casey Mears there with a 15.896.
And what that means is J.J. Yaley is going to be sent home as we've had our first car knocked out. Robbie Gordon, 15.88 seconds, actually a little quicker on the second lap. And he is now the 5th fastest. 3 cars have locked in. Of course, Bobby Labonte, Jeff Green, and the 66 of Scott Riggs. All right, let's talk a little bit about baseball because we've got doubleheader action for you Sunday and Monday. First on ESPN Sunday Night Baseball, 8 Eastern, it is the Angels taking on the Minnesota Twins. And then on ESPN2's Monday Night Baseball, 10 Eastern, it's the Reds and the Giants. Both games available on ESPN3.com. All right, so look out.
Cliff's out of shape, big time. Not going to be good, and this is already started his second lap.
Yeah, both
laps. Did it.
Yeah, that's
a killer. When you have a problem right there, it just kills both laps. You can't recover.
So Bliss is going to join J.J. Yaley.
Motor shut off?
Yeah, it shut off in the middle of 1 and 2, and then it did the same thing in 3 and 4, and it didn't
do nothing, and then it broke loose.
Well, he had a lot of things going wrong in that lap.
So the 2002 Camping World Truck Series champion will not be around for tomorrow night's event. As we mentioned, he, along with J.J. Yaley, so far. Out on track right now, Todd Bodine. And again, this is compared to Robbie Gordon's time. Robbie right now, the time to beat. 15.88 seconds. And
done. He's locked in.
Does it. He does it by 7 1/1000ths of a second and does lock himself in. You're right.
Yeah, he's happy about that.
Well, he's won here a couple of times in the NASCAR Nationwide Series. While he brings that car in, David Gilliland's getting ready to go out, and he was third fastest in the final practice. So we're going to put him up against the pole tracker.
Yeah, of course, it would take about 0.3 of a second, and we've seen drivers pick up that much over what they ran in practice to get to Jimmy Johnson. But obviously, anything inside the top 10 would be great for this team, but he has a little more on his mind than that, I believe. It's in a tough position. You have a fast race car. You see him slip a little bit right there.
Yeah, he's trying to get it. I mean, you can see right there, it went in the green in turn 1.
You just have to be careful when you go trying to make a really fast lap that you don't throw yourself outside the box here.
He's close to being on the edge here. He's 39th on that lap.
Yep.
Have to pick it up.
He is not locked in.
Definitely got a better lap here if he doesn't make a mistake.
They pick it up just a little bit.
Oh, he was pedaling that car hard right there.
Well,
he does pick it up, though, and locks himself in. Good job.
Did. A 15.86 second.
Lap. Sound like something's wrong with the motor there. What we got?
I think what was wrong with it is if he was coming in and out of the throttle right there.
Just really, really loose.
Yeah, that'll make it seem like something's wrong with the motor whenever you can't get to it and use it.
So what it means right now is Joe Nemechek, Kevin LePage, J.J. Yeley, and Mike Bliss are headed home. Two guys that are still vulnerable, Robbie Gordon and Casey Mears. As we have 47 cars that have taken times. And Brian Keselowski, brother to Brad, looking to make his Sprint Cup Series debut. He's had 53 starts in the Nationwide Series, 2 of those here at Bristol.
He's really all over that ship. Yeah, it's almost too much. I mean, you like to hear it, you know, just as you enter the corner. I don't know if you want to hear it that many times.
Well, it's not good enough. He is going to have to pick it up. He is second slowest right now.
Yeah, he's going to need the neighborhood of 0.4 of a second. Don't believe that's going to happen here.
And as he comes across, no, it will not be good enough. So Brian Keselowski joins the group that is going to be heading home. So as he rolls out, let's remind you again about what's coming up on the schedule. We've got Nationwide Series action from right here at Bristol. It's coming up next on ESPN. The NASCAR Now, presented by 5 Hour Energy, Saturday morning, 9 a.m. over on ESPN2. And tomorrow night, we start off on ABC. That's right, ABC, 7:30 Eastern, with countdown coverage at 7 o'clock Eastern for NASCAR Sprint Cup Series action from the world's fastest half mile.
Dave Blaney's going to have to run faster than a 15.902 to get in here.
Whoa, like that's not going to get it.
Well, wait a minute. If he can hang he had a lot to spare right there, too.
Slides on through 15.
95. He's going to have to pick it up right here.
Problem is that probably hurt his speed a little bit going down the front straightaway to start this second lap. You see that car's still extremely loose right there.
He's hustling it. Will it be enough? No, not good enough. Slower on the second lap. So Blaney joins Nemechek, LePage, Yaley, Keselowski, and Bliss as they are heading home.
This guy's into camping. What about that guy?
Oh, yeah. I could definitely go for some serious romance.
Okay? You're so beautiful.
Oh, my back! Maybe just a movie date would be nice.
Yeah. Zoosk, the online dating site that lets you date your way, whether you want to browse, flirt, or find your soulmate. Zoosk.com.
Wow.
It's even bigger than I thought.
Welcome to Progressive.
Do you guys insure Airstreams?
Yep. Everything from travel trailers to mega motorhomes. And when your RV is covered, so is your pet.
Perfect. Who wants a picture with Flo?
I do.
Do you mind?
Gotta make sure this is hot out. Okay. Everybody say awkward.
Protecting your family fun. Now that's Progressive. Call or click today.
This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our loyal fans for your continued support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.
So back here at qualifying, Jimmy Johnson has given Hendrick Motorsports its 11th Bristol pole. That ranks second to Junior Johnson with 15. Let's check in with Dr. Jerry Punch.
Marty, first pole of the year and first ever pole at Bristol Motor Speedway for Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy, what kind of omen could this be for you and this whole team for Saturday night?
Well, we have a lot of things going in the right direction for us here. We all know how important track position is and your pit stall pick, and we've got the best of both of those worlds starting on the front row. But we'll have to be smart. There's no safe place on this racetrack. You can be leading or in the back and have issues. So we'll try to be smart with things. I feel that our car was very consistent and comfortable in race practice, and we were one of the top 3 to 5 cars there. So we'll get it ready tonight and let these guys work on the slows and Paul and get it right. And I'll be ready for tomorrow night's race.
Hey, congratulations and good luck to you.
Awesome. Thank you. I want to say hi to my family back home. Be home soon.
Marty?
All right, Doc, as we take a look at the starting field, remember this, 34 of 99 Bristol races have been won by the front row. So good omen for Jimmy and for Carl Edwards. And Roush Fenway has won 4 of the last 5 Bristol night races, guys.
Hey, you see the 2 Bush brothers back there in the 10th row. They'll be coming to the front.
Well, and here's another stat for you. Only 3 of 32 night races have been won from further back than 15th. So not a good omen for some of these guys.
Well, some of the guys, you see a lot of guys back here, but the guy that I looked at is scroll down, Jeff Burton in 16th. I like his chances, though.
Well, so there is the starting field for tomorrow night's Sprint Cup race here at Bristol Motor Speedway. And what it means now is we're going to shift gears and get ready for tonight's NASCAR Nationwide Series event. And for that, let's get it kicked off with NASCAR Countdown.
Bristol Motor Speedway can either make you or break you. It's the kind of place that makes history. But making history requires a short memory. This isn't the world's fastest half mile for nothing.
One look and you know it is Bristol, the Coliseum of concrete. Cut from the Tennessee mountainside, every seat in this massive facility focuses on 4 corners of high-banked racing. Fans come from all lands to celebrate their sport. Camping, cookouts, and plenty of concrete. It's door banging, fender bumping. It's night racing at Bristol. Many storylines to explore tonight, and we'll preview some of those now, beginning with Jerry Punch.
Thank you very much, Vince. You know, last week's Michigan winner, Brad Keselowski, holds a comfortable 347-point lead in the series. And he comes to a racetrack where he has either started or finished first in 3 of the last 4 races here. So why did Brad run the most laps of anyone in practice today? Because he's hoping to dodge the bullets and maybe win 2 championships in this series. Jamie Little.
Well, despite the fact that he's sitting on the bubble on the Cup side of things and his full focus is on making the chase, Clint Bowyer is back in the Nationwide Series. Coming up, I'll talk to Clint Bowyer about being back in that 21 car and about doing double duty this weekend and the challenges that come with it. Shannon Spake?
Well, Justin Allgaier said the first time he laid eyes on the Bristol Motor Speedway, he fell in love with this place. And that feeling only intensified when he earned his first NASCAR win right here back in March. Coming up on Countdown, I'll talk with Allgaier about returning to Bristol for the first time since his victory celebration. Dave Burns?
Kyle Busch has led over 200 laps in the last 3 nationwide races here at Bristol, but he can't buy a win. We'll talk to the driver of the 18 car here in Countdown. We'll find out if he can bring home that record-tying 10th win of the season tonight.
The stage is set. Looking forward to it tonight here at Bristol under the lights for the NASCAR Nationwide Series. And there's a good look at where we are located outside the oval
here at Bristol, and welcome inside the pit studio. I'm Vince Welch, pinch hitting for Alan Bestwick tonight, who's tending to some family matters, and our thoughts and prayers are with Alan and his family. Hopefully we'll do him proud tonight as we sit in this seat with Ray Evernham and, of course, Brad Daugherty and Rusty Wallace. You talk about this facility, this racetrack, Bristol, on almost reverent tones. It's special, iconic. It's one of those places that you put on your bucket list to go to. Ray, when you came here in your role as crew chief, did you do anything special for your driver at this track?
Well, Vince, you had to. This place forces you to do it. Bristol's one of those places that gets involved in your race. It's a racetrack that you have to race. It's highly banked and very fast. It creates a lot of downward pressure on the driver. We had to really make sure that the seat fit Jeff Gordon and my other drivers right, because it would create pressure points. One of the first times we ever came here with Jeff Gordon, his legs started to fall asleep during the race because of all the pressure on him, and that's not a good thing.
We know there's a lot of pressure, but sometimes that's eased when you win. Rusty, you won here a lot, 9 times. But what is it about this place that is so meaningful to a driver?